Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna be comparing the brand new i9 7900X to the AMD R7 1700. So before we get things started, I want to tell you guys, because the i9 is a processor that just got released and it is the flagship chip from Intel. There are some things that confuse me a bit. I mean, you pay so much money for a flagship chip and Intel is still using thermal paste, crappy thermal paste between the chip itself and the IHS, and what I mean is the metal part on top, and that gives you bad thermals and in turn worse performance, because you need to have basically a water cooler in order to an IO in order to cool this CPU down, even without overclocking, because it is a really hot chip indeed. So all the gaming benchmarks have been conducted at 1080p and high settings, and the Intel testbed includes obviously the i9 7900X at 4.6 GHz. I used the MSI X299 Tomahawk AC. This motherboard allowed me to overclock this thing to 4.6 at a breeze with no problems. We used 16 GB of G-Skill Regios and an MSI GTX 1080 Ti at stock, and the PSU was a Deepcool 850 watt PSU. Now for the AMD system, we've got, obviously the only thing that is different is the Ryzen 7 1700 overclocked at 4 GHz and the MSI X370 SLI Plus. So here are the benchmarks. So as you can see guys, we have very impressive performance from the brand new i9 processor, but comparing it to the 1700, which is a sub $400 processor, it costs close to $300 actually, and we compare it to a $1,000 processor. So I mean, is it worth paying all that extra money to get that performance? Well, in my opinion, if you're a very heavy content creator and you really want something that is top notch and you have that money to spend on it, then I would say go for it. But definitely the 1700 is the most bang for the buck CPU. Now, is this CPU aimed towards gamers, content creators? Who is it aimed towards? Well, it is strictly aimed towards content creators and everybody and anyone else that does 3D modeling or anything that requires a lot of cores, and definitely not gamers. But as you can see, the gaming scores were very high as well. I mean, for example, in For Honor at 1080p and high settings you get 180 FPS average, and this is a very high score. And even in GTA 5, that is a very demanding game, even in our days, it's a very CPU stressful game, we get 160 FPS. So these are some very impressive numbers from the i9 7900X, and that means that even if you're a content creator and you want to game as well, that will be a no problem for this CPU. So this is it guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to click the like button below and subscribe to my channel, and I'll hopefully see you guys all in the next one. Bye. So the i7 7900 i7 what? So the i7 MSI X99X, oh my, the MSI X370 SLI Plus, and 2 gigabytes. What? 2 gigabytes?
Dum da dee doo, dum dum dee doo dee dow, dum da dee doo.